This is the story of Islam and its prophet Muhammad, Part 1. In the heart of the desert, beneath the blazing sun of Mecca, lived a young man named Muhammad ibn Abdullah. He wasn't wealthy. He didn't hold power, but there was something different about him. People knew him for his honesty and trustworthiness. They called him Al-Sadiq al-Amin, the truthful, the trustworthy. He didn't worship the idols surrounding the Kaaba. His heart was searching for light, for a deeper meaning to life. One quiet night among the still mountains of Mecca, Muhammad entered the cave of Hira, seeking peace. He sat in reflection, in deep thought, until, and it was a moment like any other, except it wasn't. For it was in this cave that something happened that would change the course of history forever. The angel Gabriel appeared and said, "Read." Muhammad trembled. He could not read. But this command wasn't ordinary. It was the beginning of a message from God, carrying light for the world and marking the first chapter of Islam. Overcome with emotion, Muhammad returned to Mecca, transformed. He began to share the message, calling people to worship one God, to uphold justice, to show mercy, to be kind to strangers, to help the sick and the poor, to be honest in their dealings, and to stay away from falsehood, backbiting, and sin. But Mecca resisted the light. They fought him, harmed him, and pressured him until he and his followers were forced to migrate to Medina. There, Islam began to flourish. The first mosque was built and the first Muslims gathered, not by the sword, but by words, wisdom, and example. Even the fiercest enemies of yesterday became defenders of the message. From one man in a cave, a nation was born, a community of people who took pride not in race or color, but in the unity of their faith and the justice of its teachings. Years passed, and the Prophet Muhammad passed away, resting his head on the lap of his wife Aisha, leaving behind a great nation and a lasting legacy. "I have left you with something that if you hold on to, you will never go astray. The Book of God and my Sunnah. This is the Quran. These are the sayings and practices of the Prophet Muhammad." And so began the greatest story, the story of Islam, a faith that transformed hearts and led people from darkness into light. To continue the story, click on the next video.